Everybody wants the perfect Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving turkey, which means the dark meat's cooked, the white meat is not dried out, and then it looks great when you bring it to the table. It has a nice shiny glaze. So the two problems. The first is obviously it turns out dry, and the second is it looks pale like it never went to the beach. So today we're going to see if we can solve both problems so you can turn out a Norman Rockwell turkey at home. It looks good. Does it taste good? Well, the first is the wet brine. Forget it. I'm done with the beer cooler with gallons of water and cups of salt, putting it on my back porch in Vermont, hoping that dogs don't get it. But I also don't like it because you get a really wet texture, which I don't like. And it also, I think, obscures not just the texture, but the flavor of the meat. So we're going to a dry brine, which we've done in the last couple of years. Salt works in a brine, dry or wet, because the salt helps to break down the protein in a way where it retains moisture during cooking. Also flavors, so that's great. We also have sugar, both for flavor, and that adds a nice even browning. But we have a little twist to that. Years and years I've been saying marinating doesn't work. When I die on my tombstone, it will say, Christopher Kimball tried to convince the world that marinating doesn't work, but he was unsuccessful. However, yogurt seemed to work with chicken. The lactic acid, the calcium, I'm not sure why. Something's going on, which is helpful. Our super secret ingredient, buttermilk powder. Buttermilk powder is just dehydrated buttermilk. The sugars and the protein, of course, promote browning. At this point, you want to make sure the turkey on the outside is dry. Just loosen the skin because you're going to put about half of this mixture underneath the skin. By separating the skin out and using this mixture, you're going to get a really crisp skin when it's roasted. There we go. That's over the thigh. That's pretty good. Okay. I think we've done a good job.
Is this glamorous work, Chris?
Hey, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. The hands are the best tool for a lot of jobs in the kitchen. And I know a lot of people are a little queasy about getting their hands right in there, but I mean, look, if you've ever went hunting and you have to field dress a deer, should I explain how that happens? I think putting your hands under turkey skin is not a big deal, relatively speaking. Plus, you're developing a much more intimate relationship with your bird. And now we're going to put the rest on the outside. You don't have to do underneath because that's the backbone and no one cares. This goes in the fridge, uncovered, overnight. You can let it go 24 hours.
I've been waiting all year for this.
So anytime I roast a chicken or turkey, I always oil it. Oiling, I think, really helps with browning, among other things. This is going to be a gorgeous turkey. Now, the second thing is the color. Very often you take a turkey out of the oven after 3 or 4 hours. It's kind of mottled looking. You don't want to bring it to the table. It's not ready for prime time. The secret is soy sauce and maple syrup, okay? Maple syrup, obviously, with sugar in it is going to help browning. 2 tablespoons of soy, 3 of syrup. To truss or not to truss. I live in a no truss household. It doesn't look great, but the heat of the oven gets inside, like the inside of the thigh better, and also this part of the breast. So it'll be faster roasting if you don't truss it. However, with this turkey, because there's a lot of presentation value here, does look great, you might want to go ahead and truss it. It's going to slow the cooking slightly, but who cares? Pepper, a little water. If you started with the glaze now, I've tried this with chicken, you will burn the outside of the bird. So we're gonna cook this for an hour and a half, glaze it, put it in, take it out, finish glazing it, and put it back in to finish. You get an incredibly beautiful burnished, it almost looks like Peking duck. Looking good. That famous Thanksgiving painting of Norman Rockwell, everyone's sitting at the table. Everybody's happy, nobody's arguing, nobody's drunk. And they're carving the turkey at the table. If you ever tried to carve the turkey at the table, it's like the worst idea ever. Because it takes forever and it makes a mess. And everyone's watching your middling carving skills. So what I will do now is to take each breast off separately and slice it, the same thing with the legs. So I don't actually carve it on the bone. It looks good. Does it taste good? You know, the salt adds flavor, right? It's not just there to make it less dry. You can see the skin is super thin, right? It has a ton of flavor. I'm not going to say umami, please. You're going to get the soy flavor. It's deep, and you get the sweetness from the maple syrup. I like turkey to have texture. I don't want sliced turkey deli meat. I want something you can actually chew a little bit. And that's one of the great things about dry brining. It doesn't mess with the texture of the bird like it would if it was wet brine.